who currently lives in Rajwa. I received Prabhuji's bio and I was overwhelmed reading it with all the qualifications that Prabhuji has and such a detailed bio. I have no qualification at all to read this, but for my own purification, I'm going to read it. But Prabhuji, please forgive me. I'm going to cut it short so we give you ample time to enlighten us on the shlokas today. But I'll try to do justice.
Or if you like, I can say it, who I am.
Yes, Prabhuji, if you, yeah, that would be better than me reading it, looking at the phone and reading it out. But this actually gave me goosebumps when I actually read this afternoon when Harila Prabhuji messaged me. And we are very fortunate that we are having a good fortune to hear from your lotus mouth today. Prabhuji, thank you very much for accepting our invitation. You can go ahead and share your bio with everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. To be honestly, my name is Pran Govind Das. My strong desire to really serve the devotees in Srila Prabhupada's movement. And I'm still trying to be trying to join this movement with all my sincerity. And that's all. I'm begging all of you, please bless me and pray for me so that I can say something that I remember hearing from Prabhupada or my Shiksha Guru, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, and other ISKCON leaders also, in a such a way that will please our Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and hopefully Srila Prabhupada and entire Guru Parampara. This way you all will be benefited and I will also purify my heart. And this is my biography. I'm a seeker of your blessing. So please bless me and pray for me.
That was not even an iota of what I read, Prabhuji, but your humility and humbleness. But just for everybody's knowledge, Prabhuji lives in Alachua and is desiring to take sannyas. At least that's what I read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's also true. So I could serve better.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Honestly, you please bless me so I can be a good servant with all sincerity and transparency. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Prabhuji, for accepting our invitation. And today, Prabhuji will be enlightening us from chapter 6, Bhagavad Gita, verses 37 to 45. With this, I hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So I'll sing just few minutes as Prabhupada suggested always the speaker should sing. And you can all repeat in your own world, wherever you are. And we'll begin with that. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtatara Shatarsi Srimad Bhai Charnaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Binda ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Patkari Sutakari Bhakta Binda ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sisi Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So to purify our consciousness and to see Krishna presence in his words in Bhagavad Gita, we are praying to Lord Vasudev, form of Krishna, who can help us to perceive Lord's mercy and illuminate our heart and ignite that love for the Lord. This is a beautiful section of Bhagavad Gita. Today's chapter is 6, chapter 6. And according to the history, the chapter are not divided by Lord Krishna or Arjuna at that time, or Sanjaya. None of the person that were participating in the origin platform were dividing this chapter. So chapter started dividing by Vyasdev, but he did not give the name. He just gave the conversation paragraph by paragraph. So what he did, like this chapter is a theme, but he did not name it. But then after Vyasdev, all our Acharya, they literally either followed the previous Acharya. This is a beautiful way of our parampara works, that we respect always the previous Acharya's vision and view. And with their mercy, we try to understand, not we come up with our own. So Madhacharya gave this verse, also Sankhya Yoga, this chapter. Then Baladev Vidyabhushan Thakur, he calls this Ashtanga Yoga. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they call this chapter Dhyana Yoga. Srila Prabhupada called this chapter Yoga of Meditation. Interesting. Dhyana Yoga also, Prabhupada mentioned. So it's very interesting that they have a similar flow, but maybe according to the recipients capturing this chapter, they modify or they reconnect how we can, because as the Kali Yuga progress, actually we are in a golden age. So we, in one sense, we are most fortunate. At the same time, there is also temptation side by side. So we may not, if we are not focused completely, we may get diverted easily as the Kali Yuga. So previous chapter ended with very special focus, how to control mind and how to meditate on Lord. And previous chapter, especially 27, 28, and 29 verse, focused on Ashtanga Yoga that leads to Bhakti Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga, but leads to Bhakti Yoga. Because if you see the last verse of the previous chapter, it's all about Bhakti Yoga. Bhaktaram Jaggatapasam. This is one of the verses Prabhupada quotes probably randomly. The peace formula. He even addressed that verse as a peace formula. Bhaktaram Jaggatapasam Sarvalokam Maheshwaram. Suridam Sarvabhutanam Yattamam Santim Pichati. So this chapter begins with where it left from last chapter. So let us pray with our folded hand to the lotus feet of Lord Vasudev, who is original form of Vasudev. It's on the lap of Mother Yashoda in the Goshala or cow barn place of Nanda Maharaj's Bhavan. It was not a big festival, it was a hiding festival because they had some fear of Kamsa to find out that this is Vasudev's son. Anyway, was not by the Brajabashis, but Gargacharya created this atmosphere because Gargacharya was sent by Vasudev Maharaj hidingly. So that's why this Vasudev name was uttered. Origin Vasudev is in a beautiful form of Krishna in Vrindavan, in the cow barn place where Gargacharya had this glimpse, and he immediately recognized through his heart feeling that this is my supreme object of love. So with that note, of course, Vasudev is also outside Vrindavan. In Kurukshetra, the speaker is Vasudev. I mean, there are many other places also that name is there. But origin, we Gauriya focus on the Vasudev in Mother Yashoda's lap. But also said Vasudev is outside Vrindavan. Yes, both. So like this. Vasudev also the predominating deity of consciousness. And all of us, how do we connect to spirituality or material? Through our consciousness. So our consciousness has to be purified. Without consciousness or without consciously involved in Bhagavad Gita understanding, we will not progress too far. Because contemplation, Srinnata Saddhaya Nitam Grinanta Sasa Chestitam Kalenas Naati Dirgena Bhagavan Vishateridi. The Bhagavan in the heart will be visible and you will revive your relationship with the Lord if you connect him through consciousness. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is the most powerful prayers before we begin. So let us begin with that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Nastaprai Sabhadresu Nitam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Saminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschat Deshotarini Vancha Kalpataru Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vindam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Prabhus and Mothers, I am reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Maybe some of you saw this black small book a few decades back, BBT published. I don't think they publish anymore. It's very beautiful. You can carry in your pocket if you like. It has everything. Very nicely made. So, I'm going to read Chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, from text 37 to 45. But because of the time I'm looking at, we will not have, we will not be able to read the purport. So I request you, whenever you have time, you can read the purport. That will be nice, wonderful, because Prabhupada gave. But some highlight will take it out, what relevant to theme that I was trying to express. But please read Prabhupada's purport. It's very important. Because we are covering many sloka today, so we'll go from that. From the beginning, those who are new, like David, nice to see him too. For the new, that this chapter has a few division. If we categorize, it will be easy to grasp it. Total text is 47. So first 1 to 9, Krishna has explained about that in your progression on Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga means a process where it pleases Krishna, not completely, but slightly. Bhakti Yoga pleases Krishna 100%. Ashtanga Yoga leads to Bhakti Yoga, but not Ashtanga Yoga is not Bhakti Yoga. But Ashtanga Yoga is also required, like for an example, controlling the mind. But Bhakti Yoga already has everything, but Krishna was giving a systematic to see. So Krishna says, first 1 to 9, he talks about beginning stage. And then he talks about, like for an example, if you go to a Jagannath chariot, I'm sure you all are familiar with Ratha Jatra, Jagannath chariot, you go by the steps. So going by the steps is text 1 to 9, how you actually rising your consciousness. And of course, disciplining, controlling, unfavorable you giving up through controlling breathing, pranayam, jama, niyama, asana, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, dhruvana, smriti, then samadhi. So there's a 2 stages. One is that you're going on the ladder, and then you come to the platform where the Lord is there. That's called Arudha stage or advanced stage. Okay, you finish climbing the steps. Now you are sitting there. Now you're going to proceed further to see the Lord or meeting the Lord in your heart. Then from text 10 to 32, it's Lord explained what are you going to get from practice to perfection? What are you going to get? So he gave 3 main topics. One is how to see the Lord is the spirit behind everything, called Brahman. And 16 to 23, Lord talks about indwelling, localized manifestation of Lord called Super Soul. I'm sure some of you have experienced. Sometimes mother tells a child, okay, you can go in the playground. Now you can go, I'll be here. And then when the child started walking, she said, I'm here in case if you need me. Now she already said it. Why she is repeating something that I'm here? So Krishna says, I am everywhere. But then he says, I'm also in your heart. Isn't everywhere including the heart? So if you think very, little deeper way, oh, he said I'm everywhere, but I'm also in your heart, means I am there for you when you need me. Krishna is trying, but he is not forcing. He will never force us. He's trying to give us some way to turn us towards him. Then you'll see from text 24 to 32, he gives a very affectionate way how to see him in a different aspect of life. And he is that Bhagavan. So Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan explanation was given very nicely up to 32. Then 33 to 37, he talks about dealing with the mind. Okay, Prabhus and mothers, we are ready to do our spiritual success. Yeah, but you will face challenges. And that challenges is not outside your job or driving a car or car repair or shopping. No, the biggest challenge in Bhakti Path is within. The real challenge is within. So then Krishna talks, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with your mind? Because dealing with the mind is the biggest obstacle in yoga. That he spoke up to 37, 36. And today we are going to start, okay, when you're dealing with the mind, what happens if mind deviates from your path? I'm sure some of you know or heard that so many people came, sometimes they go away from spiritual path, or they fell down and they disappear for a few years and they reappear again. I know even this morning while I was driving, I also do some counseling to some devotees. They said, we had a wonderful time, relationship, everything. I thought it will work out, but then all of a sudden, after 3 years, nice relationship just falling apart. This is the reality, Prabhus and mothers. Means, while we are practicing, if we are not careful, our mind will deviate us. Don't blame the mind, don't blame Maya, or don't blame anybody. It's us individually, not guarding. So Arjuna asks, what is the destination of those? This is the discussion of today's topics, where they are going to go. So again, I'm paraphrasing, advancing in yoga through detached work. David, are you sannyasi or yogi? Which one are you?
Sorry?
Are you yogi or sannyasi? Monk.
Oh, definitely not a monk.
You are monk. You know why? I tell you right now. You have to think,
What?
start thinking different way. Are you interested to stay in this material world, or you want to turn towards Krishna and go back home?
Turn towards Krishna.
That is called sannyasi. That is monk. Sannyasi means detached from the separate interest. Sannyasi doesn't mean saffron cloth. I mean, I have saffron cloth. That doesn't mean, sannyas doesn't mean. Anasrita karma phalam karjan karma karatija. The beginning this chapter, sannyasi definition. We are also yogi because we are connecting everything. Right now, what you are doing? You're trying to connect with Krishna. So you are a yogi. We, each of us, are sannyasi and yogi. But we don't define, maybe we don't say that I'm a sannyasi. But Prabhupada did say that to Hansudut Maharaj. He said, all my disciples, they're all sannyasi and yogi. So I was thinking, wow, how did Prabhupada come up with this? Then he explained, because you're giving your life for Krishna, that is yogi. And because you don't want to be in the material world, you are a sannyasi. Sannyasi means detached from the material, separate interest. So thank you, David. So then what happened that today's chapter, Arjuna asked, what is the destination of unsuccessful yogi? Yogi means those who are connecting, trying to connect with Krishna. Is that clear with everybody? Yogi doesn't mean somebody is closed eye. I mean, that's how I used to think, in the beginning of my journey in Krishna consciousness. But yogi means whoever is connecting with Krishna, whichever way they're trying, whether closing eye or open eye or cooking in the kitchen, trying to cook for Krishna, or cleaning the bathroom in the temple or in their house because devotee will come, or everybody in the family, they're devotee. Cleaning in the bathroom of your own house is for the devotee. That's also yogi. It's just that focus, it may not be there, but we should connect like this. So then Arjuna asks, what is the destination of those who could not connect? Mind took them or took him or her away from practicing. Krishna explained that yoga practice is never lost. I love that. Krishna says is never lost. Whatever connection anybody has, anywhere, anytime, is never lost. Just like the devotee who comes from a Western body in America, They come from a poultry farm. You know, poultry farm, like chicken, growing chicken or whatever. Poultry farm, I think they have everything. I'm not sure exactly what the poultry farm here. But generally, you know, they produce the, anyway, you know what is poultry farm. So this devotee joined and 2 years very sincerely served. Then his mother cried, "You are the only child." He's a Caucasian American body. "You are the only child. How could you just leave us? The whole assets, you know, huge farm is all for your future and you give up everything. You became a monk." She cried and cried and cried and cried, and he felt so bad. He left. And for 3 months, nobody knew where he was. So he ended up eating chicken, eggs, or whatever, you know, they do. And then all of a sudden, he was a little sick. Prabhupada is so merciful. Sometimes he gives a clear cut idea. He said, "Where is the devotee?" He said, "Oh, he left. Oh, he needs another kick of Maya." That's what it means. Like when we go through some challenges, Prabhupada called kick of Maya. So he got sick. So then he came back, and then Prabhupada went for a morning walk on Vatsak Avenue. And all of a sudden, that boy just appeared, you know, in a taxi, come from a very wealthy family. And then he paid obeisances, and every other devotee noticed, they recognize him. And Prabhupada immediately recognized. He said, "Oh, I'm so happy to see you. You are back." And then the devotee, so you can relate what we are discussing today. It's happening in our life. It is not in the book, Bhagavad Gita. It is our life. Krishna is talking about our life. The unsuccessful yogi, what happened? But because we are following pure bhakti, we have a different view. So when we connect it, we can relate. That devotee started crying and crying, and at Prabhupada's feet. He said, "I'm so sorry, Prabhupada. I'm the only child and I could not understand. But then you came in my dream. And I said, no, I'm going to go away. I don't want to be in this loitering in this material world. And you came in my dream again. And then I told my parents, please, I will kill myself if you just force me to stay here in this life. I want to give my life to my spiritual master." Now, this is Western body, not born with piety, born with eating beef and eggs and everything. But you can see once that little taste of bhakti literally spiked and really reignited within him. And he got a little sick, and then he started, practicing again. And then Prabhupada came in a dream and he left his house, but with the permission of parents. His mother said, "Okay, we don't want you to kill yourself. Go and stay in there." So he comes back, and you know what Prabhupada told him? "I remember you made a very good samosa." Now, he never made his samosa. He learned how to make samosa in ISKCON. And he used to make a big samosa. And this is what this Mataji told us, this story, came to my classes, and she cried and told the story about her husband, his wife. And then Prabhupada told him, he said, "I want you to make samosa today." All the devotees said, "Prabhupada, he was eating chicken and everything. He just came back today." Prabhupada still laughing and talking as if he didn't hear it. He heard it. So devotee repeated, "But Prabhupada, he should not cook. He just came out from his karmi life." Prabhupada said, "Okay, let's keep on chanting and walking." So then after some time, Prabhupada went to his room, and that devotee, Pujari brought some breakfast to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, "Oh, there's a samosa. Did you offer it to the Lord?" He said, "Yes, this is the Mahaprasadam plate." Prabhupada said, "Did he cook any more samosa?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Bring all of them." So he brought 12, he made. Prabhupada, literary devotee, was shocked that Prabhupada ate all 12. Prabhupada never eat like this. I mean, 12 samosa is a lot. Prabhu's and mother, I was born in India, but I don't think I can eat 12 samosa in one shot. Prabhupada was not a big eater, but he ate all of them. Next day morning, he said, you made a very good samosa. I was so hungry for those, and all 12 I ate. Brahmananda Maharaj, he said, come on, bring the samosa after Prabhupada eating. He said, no, he ate everything. What do you mean he ate everything? He didn't eat all. Say, yes, he did. So then he, in the morning walk, he said, Prabhupada, how did you really eat all this? I never saw you eating like that, like so much. Prabhupada said, yes, it was very good. I think Krishna was very happy because it was so tasty. That devotee started crying just by hearing this. He was in the morning walk. So Prabhus and mothers, regret, repent for little experience we have. It can destroy all our sinful or whatever challenges we find, impression, just like trash, as if nothing happened. We can destroy unlimited life sin just by repenting to Krishna. That I'm sorry, Prabhu, accept me. I'm trying to come back. Please accept me. And that devotee just did that exactly like that next day morning. He cried to Prabhupada. He said, please bless me that I never go back home. Your lotus feet is my ultimate shelter. And I was thinking, this is a Western body, just all of a sudden, how can he say such thing like this? Till his last breath, he passed away. His wife came like maybe 8 years. Yeah, 8 years back in our class. She also passed away. But 2 years before she came, so about 10 years back, he passed away. But whole life till his last breath, he was chanting and he would cry sometime for Prabhupada. This is called perfection. This is the end of this whole summary of 37 to 45. Now I'll go to details a little bit, but this is what required. This is what we need to come. Yes, there will be unsuccessful yogi. I mean, we all will have some challenges in our life. Prabhu's and Mother, if you didn't get challenges, you are very fortunate. But if challenges comes, do not be nervous. Think of Srila Prabhupada's teaching. Think of all this. Even Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he went to China. I mean, I was just talking about with Bir Krishna Goswami this morning in New Orleans. I took him to airport. He's our GBC there. And he was talking about Tamal Krishna Maharaj is going to China. He said how he was so wonderful. He said, you know, he never, ever said to Prabhupada, I will not do it. Prabhupada chastised him, but he took it. And I remember this morning in the car, Maharaj is telling me, just me and Maharaj, I was taking him to airport. He said, I always think of that. It's like, how can Tamal Krishna Maharaj in the Western body tolerate Prabhupada's chastisement? Now, Prabhupada did not chastise everybody, but with Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he would correct him, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj would just tolerate and tolerate. Sometimes I think nothing can stop me to tolerate because of that example of Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And he took it gladly. Such a wonderful example in our life. We should never complain if anything happen in our life. Prabhu's and Mother, don't expect it will come because in material world, thing will happen that you may not like it. Krishna doesn't hear me. Is Krishna hearing? I'm praying. Maybe he doesn't hear. Do not give up hope, please. So here Krishna explained that yoga practice is never lost. His next birth, he will be in rich family or pious family, or he is very fortunate, or in a family of devotee of the Lord. He is naturally attracted to the yogic principle and tries to advance further to achieve complete success. Now, text 37, I'm just going to go very quick. You all have to forgive me because I'm not going to read so much. I'll just read the slokas because these slokas are so contagious nectar. So 37 sloka is, Arjuna asked a question, what if one tries to restrain the mind, but he fails? What happened to him? So Krishna is here, Arjuna, some yogis strive faithfully, but their mind slips away from yoga because they fail to maintain their self-restraint. They won't attain the perfection of yoga. What then will be their fate? Arjuna uvacha ayati sraddhaya peto yoga chalita manasaha apratpa yoga sansiddhim kim gatim Krishna gacchati. Beautiful question, isn't it? Beautiful question Arjuna asked. That ayati, one is unsuccessful. Yati means renunciate or transcendentalist. You all are. If transcendentalist as a yati doesn't contribute to path of yoga, why yoga chalita manasa? Mind becomes deviated. That's the very, I would say, genuine question I would ask. This is connecting link as the whole chapter has been about the mind in many ways. It is, of course, about Ashtanga Yoga, but within Ashtanga Yoga, the essential thread of thought is how to control the mind. So Yoga Chaliti Manasa, what happens is aprappa, because the mind gets deviated. So Chalita is also related with the word Chanchala. You know, if you are a little familiar with the Sanskrit, I'm not genius Sanskrit, but I know enough just to pass by, to convince my own mind. So Chalita mind, Chalita, the mind goes off. Chanchala refer to restless. The mind goes here, the mind goes there. Mind is restless, but Chalita Manasa means it goes completely and drag the person also off the path of yoga. Prabhupada is so genius. When Guru Kripa Maharaj fell down, Prabhupada said, what happened? He said, well, he fell down with a Thai girl. Prabhupada said, is he eating meat? He said, no. Okay, he will be saved. Prabhupada's way of seeing things more than the scriptures saying to direct meaning. He goes beyond. He said, he will be saved, but tell him to come and meet me. It's okay. He fell down with a girl, it's fine. So, what do you mean? He fell down. No, Prabhupada saw that there is a way he can just escape from it. Prabhupada and Mother, you go today in Vrindavan, you see that Guru Kripa Maharaj. I saw. Every day in morning program, morning sadhana, and he cries for Prabhupada. He was a ring leader. I don't know if he is like a gang leader in America, mafia leader. He was a mafia leader. He comes from that kind of very tough. But look at the love. Because Prabhupada cared for him, Prabhupada brought him back. So there is no such thing called fall down according to Prabhupada's view. Means you can get up and go. Don't stay fallen. That's the point. So very nice the way Prabhupada, I mean, I'm relating these verses. So here it says, Aprappa yoga samsiddhim, such a person does not attain samsiddhi, perfection on the path of yoga. So then, kam gatim Krishna gacchati. If you look at that line, Arjuna is asking, what will be the destination of such person? Here Arjuna is using sentiment from form of address. Krishna kam gatim. What will be destination of such person who is unable to attain success on the path of yoga? Srila Prabhupada explained in 2.40, I remember, where Krishna has assured Arjuna that on spiritual path, there is no loss. So many places. Naha vikramana shasti prattabayo na vidyate shalpam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. I'm sure if you are a sloka seeker, this is one of the verses you should recite like a candy. You know, candy, like a little boy chew the candy. I like those verses. Really, I mean, I taste like a candy. Those are like a soothing balm. Nothing can disturb you if you can taste those candies, slokas. So Prabhupada over there very nicely explained. So the final point on this sloka, Arjuna's 8th question. The whole Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna had a 16 plus 1, you can say 17, or you can say 17, or you can say 16 questions. And Krishna gave 574 sloka to answer those 16 questions. So this first, today's sloka, 37, is the 8th question, number 8. What if one cannot practice yoga till one attain perfection? So this is summarizing, I'm just jumping it, that Krishna addressed Arjuna's concern about the mind's restlessness. 33, 34. I love this chapter. Actually, I mean, we love every chapter, but when you read a particular chapter, you fall in love, you know, just like falling in love with another person. It's just like that. Even more, I would say. It's more, because it doesn't end. By assuring him that practice will bring perfection, Krishna's answer raises another concern for Arjuna. That's why this sloka is there. It raises a series of related concerns. How long will he need to practice? I'm sure some of you probably thought, okay, if I cannot make it in this life, next life, but how do I know I'll practice, or maybe I will not? You know, doubt will come. What if he is unable to practice next life? What if he is practicing for his remaining lifetime? Maybe when I'm too old, I may not practice. What will be his fate if he starts serious spiritual practice but does not complete it? I don't know, some of you have thought about it. I'm sure I thought about it. In responding to Arjuna's 3 questions, 37, 38, 39. I'm just jumping. Today's 37, 38, 39, 3 questions. Krishna listened for both feelings and meanings. And sensing Krishna's appreciation, Prabhus and mothers, Krishna's first assured him with a heart-warming verse. I love that verse 40. Within today's theme, 40, Krishna says, one who seeks the ultimate good will neither perish nor degrade, either in this life or next life. Prabhus and mothers, we are free. As long we are practicing, even fell down, what is the loss? There is no loss. If you look at the text 40, I'm just jumping to it, it's beautiful. So then Krishna addresses the substance of Arjuna's question by outlining the post-modern trajectory of seekers who have not attained perfection. And this is what you will see in 41 to 45. Now, if they have a lot of residual worldly desire, they see another nice man, devotee, or a nice girl, Mataji, and I'm tired of my spouse. You know, so many wrong desire, right desire. I'm not saying everybody has it, but what if this happened? Or tired of life, whatever happening, can't maintain it, just deviate a little bit here, there. Krishna is giving a beautiful, wonderful solution. Krishna says, if they have a lot of residual worldly desire, they will elevate it to heavenly planets, which offer profuse facility for indulging in those desires for a long time. Hey, morning walk, Prabhupada said, A lot of my disciples, before they go to spiritual world, they may stop in heaven. Now, why did Prabhupada say this? This is the verse. Now, I don't know why Prabhupada said it, but I'm connecting it. Why Prabhupada said like this? Like just like this Prabhu, well, I can say, Mahaswama Prabhu, he got his PhD from Gainesville University. He told me, Pran Govind, I don't have any interest to go to merging into Brahman. But, I just thought of checking out the heaven before I go. I said, why are you telling me this? You want me to go there too? I'm not interested. No, I mean, I just want to, as a friendly, he just said, sometime I thought, what is in the heaven? Should I check? I said, Prabhu, you're going to check. You're going to stop there before you go to Golok. I tell you right now, the way you're talking, I can see you have an attraction. Yeah, I do. What should I do? I said, read this chapter 6. I remember I was talking about that. So it is there, Prabhus and mothers within us, amongst us. Not maybe with you, but you'll be surprised. If you go deep down to somebody's feeling, they're experiencing maybe a little bit in heaven just for a little while. It is there. Be honest, it's nothing harmful. So when those desires are settled, they will take birth again on the earth in family that is cultured. I like that. And moneyed. Do you know any example of moneyed? Ambarish Prabhu, right now the chairman of TOBP. In his previous life, he told me this. He was a brahmachari. That astrologer told him, Ujha, he said, you were a long-term brahmachari, 99 years, very strong. And you are born in a rich family, Henry Ford's family. Hey, you didn't work, but you inherited millions of dollars. The first check he wrote, he told me personally, $25 million for TOBP. It was 75% of his asset at that time. Now, if I have 100 million, I would not give 75% to ISKCON. Now I'll give, but I don't think previously I would give. I would give now 100%. But he wrote it. He was a grihastha. He's a grihastha. He's still grihastha. He lives here. But he wrote a big check. So when we relate to this few sloka, it's here. It's Ambarish Prabhu is the good example. That they will take birth. So it's not a lost. He again now practicing. So we can connect amongst our devotee. So if they don't have too many residual worldly desire, Prabhus and mothers, they will take birth in a wise family that prioritize spiritual growth. Ridhanda Maharaj, many others, reporter asked, what kind of people are you attracting? Prabhupada says those who are intelligent, like a lot of Jewish people, and those who are pious, like in 7th chapter, Krishna says, like the Christian. So both are joining. The intellectual people, Arti, Artarti, Jigyasu, Gyani. Prabhupada was not thinking Western body, this body, that body. He's thinking of this 4 way. And this is true. This Bhagavad Gita is a practical. What we do in our society, this is what it is explaining. And they will get outer opportunity to pursue spiritual growth. Prabhus and mothers, there is nothing lost in Krishna consciousness, in ISKCON activities. And they will get inner facilities too. The attraction to transcendence, they have cultivated by their present practice will reassure in their future lives. It will provide them with inner momentum to pursue spiritual growth till they attain perfection. There's never loss. Never loss. In the, okay, What is the time now? Oh, I have only a few minutes. Okay. I'll just jump on. I'll just read the sloka, text 38 and 39. Kachinava no bhaya viprastas chinnabram eva nashyati apratista mahavahu vimuda brahmanapati. O mighty arm Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a raven cloud with no position in any sphere? Very good question. We already discussed the answer. We are coming there. Then, etan me sangsayam Krishna chettum arhasi asheshataha tvad anna sangsaya shasya chettana hi upapaddate. This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for yourself, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. This is beautiful. Actually, these all are beautiful questions. 40. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, now the Lord is answering. This is a one verse. We should memorize that too. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Partha naiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kallana kritkaschit durgatim tata gacchati. The blessed Lord says, son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. Prabhus and mothers, you have a guarantee card, guarantee insurance by Krishna with this. I'm not saying that you should fall down. No, don't ever. But in case if you know somebody did, still there's no loss. This is so beautiful. And in that purport, Prabhupada gave a very famous verse. Tekta sadharmam charanam bhujam hare bhajan pakka pate tato jodi jatra ko bhadram abhudam shakim ko varta apto bhajatam sadharmata. These are very, 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 very important verses. Very important verses. If someone gives up all material prospect, takes completely shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhus and mothers, I'm intervening in Prabhupada's translation. Even for a moment, did you all say, I am your my Lord. I want to surrender to you. I'm sure everybody. David, did you ever do this? The my Lord Krishna, I am your. Thank you. Even for a moment, you will never be lost. That this verse is so powerful, the purport, that verse that Prabhupada put. There is no loss or degradation in any way. On the other hand, a non-devotee who never said, my Lord, I'm your, even for a moment, if he never said this, and he has a luxury life, what is his gain? He's forced to take birth a cockroaches. In a Prabhupada's morning walk, he said, what is happening here? In Hawaii, 25th floor in 71 was the highest, you can say, multi-story building. So they explained what is termites, pest control, or there's a termites. Then Prabhupada said, what they're doing? He said, there's a cockroaches on the 25th floor. So he said, why cockroaches on the 25th floor? Prabhupada stopped. He asked those termite guy, why cockroaches on 25th floor? How the cockroaches goes on 25th floor? And this is, of course, the American young man, came to kill the, pest control guy. I'm sure you all are familiar. In America, we have pest control. Says, well, I don't know. He said, why don't you think why roaches on the 25th floor? Because you dig information, the person who built this building, he was very proud that he's living on 25th floor in America. I am the best, the highest happiness to be on the 25th floor in America, in Hawaii. Believe or not, one devotee was really researching and he found the family of that, said, yeah, our father was very proud always. And then Prabhupada says, he did not know because he's attached to his 25th floor in America, he just didn't know the reincarnation, transmigration. He just came as a cockroaches. But what is the saddest part that he didn't know? That he will be kicked out by a pest controller. Even though he came on the 25th floor. Prabhus and mothers, this is what the reality of this material world. But for a devotee, this verse in the purport, focus on that verse 1.5.17. So beautiful. Even right now, you all are listening this Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, you have no loss forever, eternally. Even if you don't practice from tomorrow, what is the loss? This is the question Narad Muni actually instruct to Vyas them. It's so beautiful. The purport may be understood. You also like this. If you go to that, I was reading that purport. What I understood, I'm going to give you a very synopsis. I'm sorry, I'm going a little over the time. Is that okay, Hari Leela Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes.
Humanity may be divided into two sections. The humanity in general, all over the world, you divide into two sections. Regulated, non-regulated. Those who are engaged simply in bestial sense gratification, we call karmi, without knowledge of their next life or spiritual salvation, belong to the non-regulated section. And those who follow the principles of prescribed duties in the scriptures are classified amongst the regulated section. The non-regulated section, both civilized and non-civilized, educated and non-educated, strong and weak, are full of animal propensities. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That's all. Their activities, Prabhus and mothers, are never auspicious. Now, please don't tell them directly, but we should know. Because while enjoying the animal propensity of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, they perpetually remain in material existence. That's how Prabhupada explained in the purport, which is always miserable. Would you be excited to own the tallest building in Hawaii in 70s as 25th floor, knowing that all your whole life endeavor went for this, and next life you see yourself becoming roaches? Will that excite you to become the enjoyer? Anyone? No. So that person has no clue that he will come as a roaches and he will be kicked out by the pest controller. So those who are following the path of auspiciousness, now to the other side, like us, can be also divided into three. What I understood from Prabhupada. The follower of the scriptural rules, regulation, those who are doing the sadhan bhakti, who are enjoying material prosperity. Now you're following, also you are enjoying the sense enjoyment. The second category is those who are trying to find ultimate liberation from material existence. And the third category is those who are devotees, you all are, in Krishna consciousness. Those who are following the rules, regulation of the scriptural of material happiness may be further divided into two classes. we call karmis or fruitive worker. And those who desire no fruit for sense gratification, they are called jnanis. Those who are after fruitive result for sense gratification may be elevated to higher standard of life, even to the planet like heaven. But still, because they are not free from material existence, they are not following the truly auspicious path. This is Prabhupada's purport. I'm summarizing. The only auspicious or good, pious activities are those who leads one to liberation or out of the material. So why Prabhupada is explaining all these things here? Because he's explaining what auspicious activity is, Kallana Krit. The word Kallana Krit, you'll see that in the verse. What is auspicious activity actually? Actual auspicious activity is that which aim for liberation. Any activity which does not aim for out of Maya or liberation is not at all auspicious. This is what Sri Krishna talked about this earlier in 2.49, where he has said, Durena hi avaranam karam buddhi. So Buddhi Yoga, he addressed Arjuna as a Dhananjay, give up inauspicious work. That is inauspicious work. He has explained to you practice of karma kanda. Someone thinks sinful activities are inauspicious. Well, that is definitely inauspicious. But even practicing for religion, Prabhu's and mother, so-called religion, for the sake of, I go to church because I want to go to heaven. I don't want to go to hell. This is not ultimate auspicious. Why? Because you're still looking for your own personal enjoyment. You're not looking for pleasing the Lord by serving. So when we say auspicious activity in that verse, we are talking about the devotee who are trying to please the Lord. There is no diminution, or there is no fall down from that angle. If you look at devotional service is best of spiritual life. So that's why Krishna was saying, give up inauspicious work. I'll just summarize in 1 minute of the last 4, and then maybe in future speaker will talk, because there's so many confidential. I'm just thinking it's very difficult. In 41, what I found, Krishna asks what happened who falls down after practicing yoga for short term. Yogi who falls after short period of practice, Krishna answered, they go to higher planet where pious living entities are allowed to enter. Now you heard me. Is this auspicious? Answer is no. Because they will come back. Even they go to heaven, they will come back. So then next question is text 42. What happens to one who falls down after practicing yoga for long time? So 41 is a short time. This is for long time. The next question. Then Krishna answered, if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, then he says he takes birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world. So this way we can literally see this. Actually, I would request all of you to please read those purport. It has so much nectar, literally so much nectar. It will take like few hours to just tasting the cold drinks in a hot summer, like that. Any further question or discussion? Because I ran out of time. Sorry.
It's okay, Prabhuji. Very good. Very wonderful explanation of these verses. We think that we should learn Bhagavad Gita from you because you have a very comprehensive knowledge of each and every verse. And Prabhupada's thought process in these verses that he has given, he have really digested, Prabhuji. So in a short while, if you have some time, Prabhuji, we'll take some questions from the devotees. But
Okay.
before that, I will have just short comment, Prabhuji. I have a question regarding text 43, where it says that one revives divine consciousness of his previous life. So Prabhupada in Canto 8 of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 3, there he's this Gajendra's prayer is coming in there. So there he reminds that how Gajendra, he was in previous life Indrabna king, and how he remembers. So that connection is here in 43 and I believe in 44. How how person can remember this thing? Can you shed some light on that part briefly, if you can?
Well, in Gajendra's case, Namo Lalaya Puri Karunaya, those prayers, that Gajendra prayers, I remember in 8th canto, 3rd chapter, beautiful. Suffering is actually good. Intense suffering gives us intelligence to search out something we would never search unless we went through that kind of intense suffering. Now, in Gajendra's case, when Agastya Rishi came, he wanted further improvement. We all need good association. Constantly, Prabhuji and Mother, this is my humble request, always seek for more higher association, higher association. And if higher association is available, don't try to run away or ignore or, I'm practicing, I don't have to go now. No. Even if you cannot go, regret, but don't stop yourself. So Indradumna Maharaj, not ISKCON Indradumna Swami, I'm talking about Gajendra in his previous life. His name was Indradumna Maharaj Swami. He was aware that Agastya Rishi came to give him upliftment. He voluntarily ignored it. Because he voluntarily ignored it, as a result of his pious bhakti, okay, he went to heaven. You can say Trikuta Parvat. I mean, Trikuta Parvat is like a silver, what is that? Gold, silver mountain, a beautiful lake, even the water. Anyway, I won't go too much glorifying on that. But it was like even the water, that they said the animals are not thirsty, but the smell of the water is so tasty, the animal force themselves to drink, even though they are not thirsty. I don't know what does that means. This is like such an enjoyment. So what happened to Gajendra, you know, that when Gajendra was attacked by a crocodile, I'm just speeding up to the end of the pastimes, that in intense suffering, what we adore in our devotional practice right now, at the moment of death, what you did not want will go away. Prabhus and mothers, what you don't want at the moment of death, it will go away. At the moment of death, please try to do 4 things. It's very important. In a short, I'll say, and Prabhupada did this. Even in Bhagavad like Prabhupada, first thing you do at the moment of death, that let's see. If you are a person present in front of a dying person, what do you do? So you say, we love you. Nothing you need to worry. Radhanath Maharaj told me when I was going to Bhakti Charu Maharaj's last moment of leaving this world, I went to Edmonton Hospital in Orlando. So Radhanath Maharaj over the phone, I don't know how in the world he figured it out. I was going there. It was like a mystical. And I still remember I was crying because the way he was explaining. He said, you tell Maharaj, I'm just thinking, maybe I don't want to go because it takes a long time to come back. Okay, I'll just synopsis that he says, you tell Maharaj, we want his association. He should not leave. But if it is the desire of Krishna and Prabhupada that he should go somewhere to serve, then yes, he should go and fulfill their desire. And tell him the second, he said all his project and his disciples, they will be taken care. We will give our life and time to take care of his project and he should not worry. Prabhus and Mother, these are not just tangible. And then I found out it is in our scripture what Maharaj was saying in a simple English. He said, before you die, you do these 4 things. One is that you express that please forgive us if we have done something wrong to you. We are forgiving. I'm forgiving you 100%. Nothing, I have any resentment or anything. I'm not holding anything. You are free from me or from us. It depends where you are, who are they. But that person who is living also should be forgiving us. Prabhupada, before he passed away, he asked forgiveness to all his God brothers. He told his disciple, invite them. You know, there's a beautiful picture on our books. You saw all Prabhupada is with all God brother and he's begging apology. You hear this recording. They say, no, you haven't done anything. He said, no, sometimes I said so many things about my God brother and please forgive me. I don't mean intentionally. I just wanted to preach my Guru Maharaj's. So please, I'm begging you. Why Prabhupada had to do it? He's Mahabhagavat. This is the symptom of Mahabhagavat. They know the art of leaving this world. They have a clear consciousness. Then you can think of Krishna at the moment of death. A dying person should always remember these things. Anyway, back to this. So Gajendra was very nice. The way Gajendra went through the process. How come all my family? I'm the king of this place. How come all my family cannot protect me? They tried. Not 1 year, 1 day. 36,000 years, Prabhus and mothers. Do you know 36,000 years fighting? Maybe I don't understand, but it's a long time. To help your loved one. Everybody tried, everybody failed. Everybody else came in this whole Trikota mountain area. Nobody could protect. All of a sudden, he got scared. This crocodile is gaining weight and strength because fish is going in between the jaw and he lives in the water. But the elephant don't live in the water. Their food is outside. They don't eat animal, or fish or others. They eat only trees and other. Nobody's supplying any food. He's looking at him. He's like, oh my God, I'm about to die. These are good assessment. He did all these 4. Gajendra did. Then he got out of fear, regret. All of a sudden, repentance just appeared. If we can acknowledge our degraded position and we accept responsibility, then we will repent. A repentance will produce responsibility. You will have a new selection and elimination. Gajendra did this. one by one. It's so wonderful that, Prabhu, you just brought it, but I'm trying to cut down just to the point, that it was so beautiful that Gajendra actually came to a point that I'm helpless. Anishara tato bhajeto mam prita dhira saddalo nischaya jusmanas chutana kamam parityage anishara. I'm helpless. No more Ishwar. I cannot control. I am completely helpless. Deplorable, my Lord. All of a sudden he remembers 36,000 years back, he was a devotee. He did mistake, offended the Augusta Rishi, but nonetheless, his bhakti never lost. And he immediately saw, all of a sudden, lotus flower also bloomed right in front nearby with the trunk. And he just cried and offered that. So this is so good example there. So wonderful. Prabhus and mothers, we are free in one sense. Whether I'm pure devotee or not, but I feel like to dance and chant, just free. We are literally free. Whether I will go end of this life or what is the harm, even if I come back. But Prabhupada says, don't invite your guru to come back to collect you again. Try to make this as your last life. So out of love for Prabhupada, we should complete our journey in this life. Not come back. I hope this gives you some clue, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the wonderful explanation. So I will request Aradhana Devi now to take some questions from our audience or comments they have. Prabhu, you have some time, right, for question, comment?
Yeah, few minutes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Dear devotees, if anybody has any questions or realizations from today's session, can raise your hand.
David, what are you taking away?
For me, you know, the last time I read these verses, I remember so much joy coming from the realization that everything I'm doing, all my practice, even though it's small, I'm only gaining, but I'll never lose. And I think that is so generous.
Yes.
And just to know that's the case. Worst case, I'm here, right? And it's only better.
Wonderful, David. Two things you write down, please, David. This is Bhishma Dev's point. He says, no resentment. What do you say? He's generous. Krishna is generous. That means you don't have a resentment. This is one thing. Never maintain resentment against devotee or Krishna. First thing you do. We all should do. I mean, I'm sure you all are doing it, but I'm just reinstating. Second is, Krishna is the only cure for all your problems. If you can maintain these two, guaranteed you will go back home. Krishna will come at the moment of death. Bhishma Dev says, look at him. Even though I was fighting against Lord and the Pandavas, but I maintained these two things. Now the Lord appeared in front of me before I leave. This is wonderful. This is real generous. No resentment. Go ahead.
I would say the one thing I will say about that is Krishna being the only cure. Being born in the United States and you know, we're very goal driven, right? Or we're supposed to be, I guess. And realizing that the goal of life is self-realization and my relationship with Krishna, I do feel at the moment that my material life is conflicting with that goal, and it's quite a challenge.
Yeah, but since I know you for a little while, you are advancing. Keep on going.
Thank
you. You are a wonderful devotee. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, David. Mika.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the class, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have a question. Like you said, how Prabhupada says that it wasn't like he didn't believe in like falling down. It's like just get up again. So Prabhuji, like you said, there's like if you fall down, but like not too much, then you go like to the upper planets. If I'm correct.
Yes, it is in this today's sloka has this. I was just breaking it down that short time is one result, long term practicing then fall down is another result. It's not same. So within fall down there is many. Even in Bible, there's a beautiful phrase that the difference between saint and devil. So Jesus said, the difference between them is both can fall, but one stay fallen and one get up and keep going. He's a saint. Wow. So fall down is not the question. Question is to get up and keep going.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mika. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I just have one question. You said at the time of death, do these 4 things. I didn't think you mentioned the third and fourth. Or
maybe next class I'll talk about it for like 15-20 minutes because it will take 10-15 minutes.
Sure, Prabhuji. Okay.
Definitely I'll do that.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhus and Mothers. Where I am is 10 o'clock. And we'll go to...
Prabhuji, we expect that at least you come once a month, even if you are too busy.
I'll try, definitely.
Thank you, because you have given such a wonderful explanation of all the verses and insight into the Bhagavad Gita, so which is so helpful for us growing devotees, Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpataru vishyakipa sindhave vachapatita nam pavane vaishnavebho namo namo.
Pran Govind Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Govind ki jai.
Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhujis and Matajis, for joining our call. We'll see you tomorrow again for our Nectar of Instruction session. Hare Krishna and Dandapranams. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can I end the call?
Yes.
Okay.